Heidi ho, people I don't know. It's your resident blonde Asian, one half of the 100% Tuesday podcast, and I'm here to provide you with a trigger warning. Although the topic or discussion point is Tuesday, there are some themes of domestic violence that are talked about in the beginning of this episode. So I wanted to provide a trigger warning just so you know. So thank you for listening, and we love you here at the 100% Tuesday podcast.
Happy Tuesday, y'all. I am Code Red.
And I am your resident blonde Asian over here.
And this is your 100% Boom Boom Tuesday.
I missed it.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Do you want to do it over?
No.
Okay.
You can keep going.
100% Boom Boom Tuesday podcast. So, welcome. We are sporting our heart sweaters today that we got in Frankenmuth.
Yeah, like we have a tradition of going to Frankenmuth, and one year we ended up buying the same sweater because we liked it.
Right.
But then when we came back wearing said sweaters at the boutique, they were like, that was from here. And we're like, yeah, we're here to buy more matching sweaters.
Yep.
And then our homegirl, was it Deanne?
Yes, Deanne.
Hooked us up. So if you want to go and find cute sweaters and you're from Michigan and you're doing your yearly run to Frankenmuth,
of course,
because that's what you do, go to the White House Boutique and ask for Deanne.
Absolutely. She is amazing.
Yes.
She actually went into she said, oh my gosh, I think I have something for you guys. I have something for you.
She knew what we wanted.
They're not priced out yet. They're not out and on display yet. We're going to do it tomorrow, but give me just a minute. So she went downstairs in the basement to their inventory and brought them up. It was this one and then one other one,
which we actually wore, but we'll wear it again because we want to talk about it.
Because it's amazing. So that's how we ended up with these sweaters and spending like a lot of money there.
Like, honestly, like, I like how these are like not kid-like looking, but like youthful looking.
Yes.
But it's like, it's this, if you feel it, you'd be like, oh, that's expensive.
Well, and also you with the way you look at it, you think, ooh, is that itchy? No, it's not itchy at all. It's so soft.
Because it's expensive.
And it's a French company.
Yes. No, yes. The name of the company is French.
But I think, isn't it from France?
I'm assuming so.
Yeah. And I think I have a button-down shirt, and our other sweater that we got is also from the same company.
Same company.
So do we have some housekeeping?
Well, she did say C, like actually right in the beginning.
I did.
Which we missed, but after that, no one else said C.
That's so weird.
So I wasn't wrong, but I was wrong.
Yeah. Well, and I think we weren't sure how we were feeling about, the running topic and all of that. And so I think we're figuring it out. And so we were honed in on what we were doing.
Yeah. So in other housekeeping, I mean, we don't really have any, but you probably noticed I have like this red ring around my lips. I've had some sort of allergic reaction, although this is not ideal to be in front of a camera like this. I actually am pretty self-conscious and embarrassed about it right now. But no, it's not like a weird like flesh-eating disease. I just had some sort of reaction to something, and my mouth is dry, or like area around the mouth is like dry, and I just have to like let it heal.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta let it heal.
Yeah, I feel like a big clown. Maybe it's not even showing up. My lips could just look really full. But yeah, I don't know what I ate. I have to pay attention to it. I kind of think it's the Nutter Butter bars I ate. But that's weird because we've had those before.
I don't really eat Nutter Butters, so.
We've definitely had them.
Okay.
At the other place.
Okay.
And I didn't have this reaction, so I don't know if there's something different.
Well, and that your allergies change as you get older.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, before this, I was sick, so I was blowing my nose a lot, and then that probably also led to my lips being dry, and my apartment's just pretty dry in general.
Yeah.
So.
It's, but it happens.
Yeah.
I will say, what? So to me, it looks like you have like super like your lips are full.
Yeah, that's what
and
it was
then
looking like.
You had some really bright red lipstick on, and then like I don't know, like your Prince Charming just like came over and just like grabbed you and dipped you and gave you one of those passionate kisses that like smears your red lipstick a little bit, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No,
No, I mean, even it
I'm
could be.
romanticizing it.
I don't like it. I want it to go away. I'm hoping it goes away. So, we kind of need to get into our topic, which
That'd
is
be
not a topic.
great.
I keep saying it's a topic. The word.
The
The word
word.
is Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So I had this thought.
Yeah.
You know how bands, like, they name their album something cool? Like, I thought of Sugar Ray right away.
Okay.
And that
Very
album,
cool.
yeah. And that one album was called 1459
Oh.
because everyone has their 15 minutes of fame.
Okay.
I'm like, that is a really awesome name for an album.
Wow, yeah.
They set the bar like super high. So
Oh,
for the
man.
next album, they just took the name pass because you can always name one of your albums after your band.
Okay.
So after that, after 1459 was Sugar Ray. So I kind of feel like this Tuesday word is kind of like our free pass.
Yes.
Even though it's like we're obviously going to try to keep it Tuesday related, but like it seems, I feel like this should be fun and we should be able to talk about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we kind of thought the last time we sat down and chatted, we weren't sure how that one was going to turn out, but it was
Yeah.
all right.
No, it was all right.
We liked it.
You know, and I think, we shouldn't second guess ourselves so much. We just got to believe in what we're putting out there and just.
I mean, we have it a lot more together with everything else. That was what's it called? Running.
Yes.
That's the first one where you see me the whole time,
Yeah.
even though that's when I was sick. But, like, it's funny that we finally, like, we're getting it together.
We are. And we're getting our equipment up quicker.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting into a flow. We're getting into a rhythm.
Definitely.
And I think it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, that's always the hope.
That is the hope.
And I feel like maybe some people don't talk about how it's not as easy as just, like, setting up and, like, I mean, it could be.
It could be.
But, like, we're trying to, like, try.
We are.
We are trying, but not, like, obviously not.
Yeah. I mean,
There's no neon lights back here.
you had
No hate to neon lights.
no, I love neon
Yeah,
lights.
I'm just saying we don't have any.
One day we'll get a cool Tuesday neon light in the background. I don't know. Or Tato. I don't know.
Well, maybe I was kind of like throwing shade at neon lights.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
But
like
if you
neon
want a
lights.
neon
That's
light, we
cool.
could get one.
I could have one behind me.
We could do that. We'll see how that goes.
So I guess we're going to dive into a little bit more of like what Tuesday is, what Tuesday means, what Tuesday does.
Yeah. I mean, like we said before, it did stem from basically sad events and got stronger via sad events in a
Yes.
weird way. You think bad things like, oh, I got in a car accident,
Yeah.
or oh no, Michael Jackson died.
That
Oh,
was sad.
tragic.
That was. I
Ooh.
cried. I cried when that happened. I cried when Whitney Houston
There was a lot
died.
of confusion
Oh
with
my God.
that.
Yes.
I remember I was actually at O'Reilly's Parts.
Oh, O'Reilly
That was their commercial.
Auto Parts.
How did you know that and you didn't know America's Funniest Home Videos?
I don't know. I mean, when I used to teach, I did like a whole lesson on how music is used in media, and we
Oh.
literally would spend. I remember spending like almost an entire class period, like just everyone's just like singing different. Like it would just organically just happen. Then somebody would think of something else, and yeah, it was
that
really
one's
cool.
definitely not one I think I really knew.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, so yeah, that would be terrible. Michael Jackson dying again. What she
I mean, some
can't.
people think he didn't die, but
I think Elvis is alive and I think he's super hot.
he probably is.
Oh, Elvis.
Elvis. Have you ever been to Graceland?
We should go.
Okay, I've been there once, but I think we
But
would
no,
have we would
that's-
have a lot of fun.
That would be a trip that we could go on again
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, I mean, really, our friendships stemmed from before the bad time. Like we started becoming really close. We were both going through life changes together at the
we
same
just had
time.
an incredible amount of things in common that
Yes.
we probably didn't peg each other to have in common. Like I
Yeah.
really thought you were way more put together than I was.
Oh God, no! I'm a good at I mean, I am put together, but I'm very good at fake it till you make it.
And it's just like I just think maybe because you were like a teacher,
Yeah.
Like, and I would always see you in teacher clothes.
Yeah.
You saw me in different, depending where I was coming
Right,
from.
right.
If you were the first one of the day, so you saw me in like varying states. But I just assumed that she had it way more together than me. But we were like living the same
Right.
truth.
And that it just kind of came out organically, like one of the days when we were working together. Like we kept things very professional. You know, we were having fun. We were, you know, whatever. We had a good time. We bonded over the retreat, you
Yeah.
know, all of
But
that.
I will say, the first person to break the professional boundary was you,
It
not me,
was.
surprisingly.
But it was like a slip up. And we were by ourselves.
Sort of.
Well, yeah. Kind of. The
No,
conversation
technically,
after
technically,
was
by
when
numerals, we were
right.
by ourselves,
Yes,
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 together.
absolutely. Yep. So, yeah, so we definitely, I mean, in that work relationship and through that working relationship, we realized just how similar we were, and we just got closer and closer and closer, and we're dealing with things with our past marriages and how, you know, how hard, like how difficult it was for
I mean,
us
we weren't dealing with our past marriages. We were dealing
in the
with it.
time. Yeah.
Like
Now there are
we
past
got
marriages.
technically on paper.
Yeah.
We were divorced within 2 weeks of each other.
Yeah. So crazy. But yeah, so we went through all that, and then we just were getting closer and hanging out and hanging out. And
Renaissance Festival.
Renaissance Festival happened. Went through some more relationship stuff. I often say, and I think you totally understand this when I say, like, Tuesday saved my life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna try not to get super emotional, but it is emotional for me. You know, it's one of those things that you never think is gonna happen to you or anyone you know.
Yeah.
You
I
know, you
agree.
hear about it, you see about it, you don't experience it really in any way other than like in the movies, or you know, you see something posted somewhere or whatever. And
And you support it because you know
yeah,
it's wrong.
absolutely. Oh
Right.
gosh, absolutely. Gosh, let's see, what year are we in now? 2022. So, gosh, coming up 4 years. October of 2018, the man that I was with after my divorce decided that I probably shouldn't be here. And in, you know, there were some signs, I think, leading up to it. Nothing that made me think.
But to be fair, I when I think about it, it's like, yeah, they were signs, and I feel like I pointed to some, but at the same time, like when you have a best friend, like you don't want to interfere.
Right. Absolutely.
And I don't think even you were definitely too close to everything, and I was too close, and I was too afraid of, if I say something, will she shut me out?
Right.
And it's easier now that it's all over with. We could see everything.
Absolutely.
Is the point really? Is I was trying to make.
You know, and I wasn't as open about certain things that were going on as I started to see at the time, started to see some of the not good signs. You know, I spent a lot of time with him, you know, really thinking, gosh, I finally found someone that gets me. I finally, like, we connect on all these different levels. It was just, you know, and I don't disregard our relationship at all prior to leading up to this. For me personally, I can't. You know, everybody's different. I can't believe, for me, I can't say that our relationship wasn't real and that there wasn't positive and there wasn't love there. I can't say that. But the evil that came out that night, October 30th, 2018. You know, when I literally felt like I was fighting for my life. You know, I mean,
And just to be frank, when she says she was like fighting for her life, it's not metaphorically.
yes. So I was in survival mode, you know, that, you know, thinking back, reading all the things and having the conversations and going through the courts and all that, it felt like I think it was over a span of 3 hours total, maybe from start to finish, from the time he came into my apartment to the time that he was arrested by the police.
What was he arrested for?
He was arrested for domestic violence, and So his charges, and also for taking my phone, his charges were domestic violence, second offense. That was a misdemeanor charge, a felony charge of obstruction of 911 communication because he took my phone and told me that he saw that I tried to contact the police or tried to contact 911, and that if I did it again, that he would put his fist through my face. And then the last charge is a felony charge of attempt to commit great bodily harm less than murder via strangulation and or suffocation. And in my case, he did both. So I was very lucky and very blessed. I'm not a very religious person, I'll be honest about that. But I feel so much gratitude and blessings for my neighbor who heard that something was going on, and she had heard yelling before that kind of worried her a little bit, but this time something was different. She heard the thud to the ground. She heard me scream and cry. And when I say thud to the ground, it was probably one of the times that he dragged me off of my chair. And thank goodness she turned her stuff down, listened a little bit more, and felt really not okay and called 911.
Is that like sixth sense that she had? Her intuition?
Yes, her intuition.
They share a wall.
Yes.
This is the same lady who takes care of our animals
Yes,
as well.
she does. She's a wonderful friend, an amazing neighbor. And, she was the first step at saving my life, to be honest. And with that, the city police came, and immediately, I have to say, I hear things about what people go through, men, women, and, what their experiences are. I know I'm very lucky. My experience of what happened after the fact, from the time that the police showed up to how they reacted, to how they treated me that night. They arrested him that night, and one of the police officers saw that I was in distress and actually asked if he could take me outside to talk to me. And that was when I just lost it. And I just started vomit, just sobbing and crying and telling them everything that happened. And, and it wasn't a question of whether they believed me or not. It wasn't a question. And I didn't feel like it was a question at all. So that made me feel like I can be completely open about everything going on. And after the officer got done speaking with me, he went inside to speak with him and the other officer that was in there with him. And I rushed over to my neighbor's door and just banged on the door, and she opened, and I said, did you call? And she said yes. And I just hugged her and I said, thank you so much. And she stood outside with me. And, I watched him walk away in handcuffs. And it was like I was watching somebody else's life. I was like, it was the longest, most horrific night of my life. But thankfully, my neighbor was there and the police officers did their job. And then not only that, but the judge did his job in keeping him there behind bars. And I went through, I had a little bit of a choice of whether or not I wanted to participate in the court things, but it wasn't a question. It wasn't a question at all for me. I was going to be at every single thing, and he was going to look at my face and like, you are not going to hurt me ever again. Like, that was something that I needed for myself to do. And when I tell you supportive friend, this woman, it wasn't a question. She was at every single court date that I went to. She drove me there, or she drove with my mom and I. She was at every single day, and those days often fell on a Tuesday. And after one of those days, not too far in to the process, because we're talking, this happened in October of 2018, and I was going through it until beginning mid May of 2019. So it was a big chunk of my life. And one of the days, probably I was a little bit of ways in, and it was on a Tuesday. We got some food, and I was feeling so down, and I was so defeated, and I was so tired, and I went and I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to go anywhere. I don't want to laugh. I don't want to cry. I don't want to do anything. And I remember you said to me, we went to the bathroom, and you said, it was on a Tuesday, and you said, do you just want to come over and spend the night, and we don't have to talk, we don't have to do anything, we can just sit there and you can spend the night. And I think that night was probably we probably cried a lot at one point, but it was probably the first time that I think I probably felt really happy and like hopeful again. You know, like I was with my best friend, and I was actually smiling. Like, not smiling because I had to because of work, or because, you know, when people ask you, oh, how are you? Oh, I'm good, thanks. When really inside you're not, you know, like that's just something we do all the time, I think, as humans. But that was the first time that I was like, okay. And then it became a thing that just became a regular thing. You know, on those particular days, I usually stayed the night before, or I would stay over that night. And eventually in time, it just became a ritual, a
Yeah.
tradition.
You know, I didn't know that's how it started.
Really.
I knew why it started,
Yeah.
but I didn't know I just said, hey. I mean, that sounds like something I would say.
Yeah.
As like uptight as I can be, and kind of I'm more of a recluse now. I think the panini did not help.
Yeah.
But that sounds like something I'd say, just like hang out. It's you could just sit in the other room. Just it was more for me. Like, have you? There's an episode, or is it in the movie? No, it's an episode of Sex in the City
Okay.
where Charlotte just found out she cannot conceive,
Oh,
and
yes.
Miranda, you know, she got pregnant.
Yeah.
You know, and Charlotte's been trying, and then they ran into each other in the street.
And Miranda was pregnant.
Or
Or
she
she just
just
found
found
out.
out.
Okay. Yeah.
So she just found out, and she's like, you know, Charlotte's kind of, you know, like, and probably jealous in a weird way, but it's weird because it's your best friend.
Right.
And then she's like, it just take you time to get pregnant. And she's like, no, here's the proof. Here's like the science.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh my God, do you want me to walk with you? And she's like, no, I'm fine. And she's like, well, Miranda's like, well, I'm going to follow you home anyway. And she's like, I just want to be alone. So then Charlotte starts walking, and within 4 paces, Miranda was like right behind her. And that's like what I wanted to do for you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here if you need something, but like, obviously staying by yourself is not helping.
Right.
But who knows, maybe staying with me wouldn't help. But it's
Right.
like, again, it's kind of like why I do try so many different things, because something's going to work.
Right.
And
Right.
if it wasn't what is now Tuesday, it would have been something else.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. I mean, even just something as simple as when I was, and I know you know what I'm talking about when I was on the stand. I was on the stand for 4.5 hours. Four and a half hours.
I don't know if you'll agree with me when I say this, but it was kind of funny.
That it took. Well, yeah.
Not that it was,
I mean,
from my end,
thankfully, over the 4.5 hours was over 2 days. So that was,
it was split up. Yes,
it was split up into 2 days, because I don't know if I could have handled. I mean, I would have.
Yeah,
I would have handled it, because
you didn't want to waste anyone's time.
no.
But I guess, okay, what I mean by funny is I had 2 jobs.
Yes.
Well, yeah, really, to be present.
Yes. And you stayed visible. That's what when I was on the stand.
Well, that's what I was gonna get to.
Yep,
but
yep.
she spilled the beans.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. But I had 2 jobs. One was to be present, you know, and then the other one was to.
Oh yeah. I was very you know, my mom came, and
Obviously, because we
obviously,
love our moms.
oh my gosh, yes. And I mean, if my mom could have gone through it for me, she would have,
Yeah.
and but there was something about that and talking about it so openly and having to go into such detail, and reading the text messages from the day
Which were
before.
disgusting. I have never seen such a thing in my life.
That was the hardest part,
Yeah.
because I had to, the prosecutor read what I said in the conversation, and I had to read what he said in the conversation. And there's something different about reading it
Yeah.
silently on your phone than having to read it out loud in public.
Like a year later.
Yes. So that was really, yeah, that was really difficult. But I didn't want my mom to have to go through that. And I didn't want her to be in the courtroom because of that. So you were going to make sure.
On the chance
Yes.
that, I mean, it's a mom. So it's like I'm kind of up against like nature,
Right,
like
right.
a hurricane of nature. And my job was to make sure that she was not trying to come in to listen.
Yeah.
And, that was, it wasn't, I wouldn't say awkward, but I had a directive.
Yeah.
And it's like
I was very clear.
I could apologize later. I could
Absolutely.
apologize later if something just seemed like rude or whatever, but I had a goal. And, also I thought it would be, well, I'm there. I could be like a good, like,
Yeah.
focal point. Cause I'm like one of those people, like, I freak out after the fact.
Yes.
Like, if you were to knock out your tooth, I would know exactly what to do until you would have that tooth back in your mouth.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah,
Beautiful grill.
exactly.
But my mom respected what I wanted, and she didn't
But there was
try
still
to come.
that slight chance.
There was, and it was so.
It was slight enough for me to, like, all my muscles were like you sit in like pews, kind of.
Yeah.
I was like air squatting.
Yeah.
I am not kidding. That whole time because I was very prepared and focused. Like I don't think I could do that again.
Oh God. No.
Under any circumstance. Like if it was a similar circumstance, I could do it, but like I never have been in a situation
Right.
like that.
Right.
It was very important to me that you could feel like you could be open because that was like the stage for it, right?
Yeah,
And you didn't want to
absolutely.
get it wrong. And personally for me, I mean, I hope I'm never in this situation, but I don't know if I could be so direct with what I needed to say to get my point across to
Yeah.
everybody that matters
Right.
in that situation if my mom was present, just because I wouldn't want her
Right.
to
I don't
have
want
to hear
hurt
that
exactly,
or be disappointed that
I didn't do something different,
which
or
that doesn't matter, but at the
right.
same time
I
it's
know
still a
it's
thought.
still a thought that's in your head.
Yes.
There's so many things that you go through in your head of what could I have done? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? I mean, I told you before, I thought a million times, like, why didn't I run out of my apartment? Well, I didn't run out of my apartment because he would have heard me try to unlock the lock. He's way faster than me. Like, there's so many things, and it's like I played so many different scenarios in my head. Why didn't I do this? And then, it was you really that just made me remember that, like, because I did what I did, I'm alive today. And that's it.
Whatever you did it right because you're here.
Yes.
You survived.
Yes.
So I don't care what anyone thinks. I mean, am I going to lie and say that I didn't think some of the things I did? But then when you were like, I thought about this, but then if I get out there, who's there to talk to?
Right.
Like those are things obviously I did not think about,
Yeah.
and it's like, it wasn't a matter of, obviously I believed you.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a matter of that. It was a matter of you went through the scenarios in your head and then you knew that everyone else was going to do the same thing.
Yeah. And quite honest, I mean, obviously I wasn't thinking about what everybody else was thinking.
Right.
I was playing out all the scenarios I could in my head of how can I best live through this? How can I get him out of my apartment? How can I get back to being safe? Like it was terrifying, but I did it. I went through it. I faced it. And like I said, Tuesday is a huge part of my healing and surviving.
Do you have any like not I mean, I guess like advice or words of wisdom for someone who might be in a similar position?
Yeah, I think don't be afraid to talk about it. It's not something that I tend to bring up on whatever, but I think don't be afraid to turn to the people that are there for you. Quite honestly, I have talked to people about it where they have friends that they are going through something similar and they don't know how to deal with it and how to handle it. And I said the best thing you can do is offer support and just listen, because quite honestly, me personally, I think a lot of people's who are going through it, their fear and being afraid to talk about it is because they feel that they're going to be judged, and they feel that they're going to, not be taken seriously, or, law enforcement isn't going to take it seriously and all of that. And I I will tell you that if you do that, hopefully all of those pieces will fall into place, and you will have that support, and you will have someone there for you. And leaning on people, not if there's resources available, the hotlines, your parents. I know in the county we live in, there is a women's organization called Haven, and they offer free support to people in shelter. And it's I think just trying not to live in the fear.
So, in a way, what you're saying is if you're in a situation like that, say something to someone, anything.
Yes.
No matter how little or how much you say, you'll be surprised at who's listening. And, like, I mean, like me, I was listening more than you thought,
Yeah.
you know?
And quite honestly, people talk about, oh, well, what's the point? Like, I already told the police once and they didn't do anything and nothing happened. I don't care. I don't care if you're going to leave when you are ready to leave. Like, people can help you and tell you, like, I don't think this is a good relationship. I don't think this is good for you, but you are going to do it when you're ready to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. First, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't be afraid to, I say report everything, because the fact of the matter is that even if nothing happens from your situation, because you reported it, the next girl or guy that he does it to, something's going to be in the system.
It's in writing.
It's in writing, and that's
Showing a pattern.
It's showing a pattern, and it's going to help save somebody's life. Not only did it help save yours, because in my opinion, the more you speak up and the more present you are, that's why I was present in everything. That was me, one brick at a time, building myself back up and getting stronger and stronger. And I know that by doing what I did, I helped put him behind bars. And his exes before me also played a big role in helping to put him behind bars by reporting what they experienced with him, and also by testifying in my case. So I'm report it. Get it, make sure it's on paper, and if anything, like I said, you will help save someone else. And you doing something like that is taking control of your life and yourself, and it will for me personally, it helped make me feel better and help me heal.
When we said that the true birth of Tuesday stemmed from a sad event, there you have it.
Yeah.
And we actually took a sidebar because we got the word
Right.
and we're not going to deviate from the bowl. Like, we're not going to do that to you. That'd be rude.
Yeah.
But, I took a sidebar and I said, how do you want to do this? And you did the thing. So I know that took a lot of balls.
Yeah, it did.
But, you're a real person who really went through this. And I think yeah, we're fun, but there's also like a serious side to us.
Well, and part of
Like,
these these sad things and these things that we've gone through, whether it's, with our careers or our relationships, our divorce, what happened with me with this, with him. And it's also part of what makes us who we are. I think going through all of that and us being kind of Tuesday starting where it started, it helped get us even further to a place of why not? Let's just be happy. Let's just do stuff to be happy. Like, you want to make fun of us because we have a sleepover, like we're in 7th grade? Fine. You know what? We're happy. We like doing it. It's a good time for us, and it's been a huge support system for us. So, something beautiful came from something horrible, and I'm forever grateful for that. I think we are bonded for life. Like this, it's it. This is it.
so now you know the origins roughly of Tuesday. And, it's very sad and dark, but there are a lot of fun things that happen with Tuesday. We have a lot of stories to tell, and you've been hearing them come out of our mouths.
Yes.
So Tuesday is a day of the week. What else?
It's the day we were born.
Yes, the day we were born.
We were both born on a Tuesday.
Not America's Full House. Full House was on a Tuesday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I feel like it was. I don't remember. No, it did. The series finale was on a Tuesday, so they were on TGIF.
Yeah, because I remember that. I remember TGIF with that and Step by Step,
And then it got pushed to Tuesday
okay.
at I think 8 or 8:30. So it wasn't. I remember it not necessarily being a prime spot of time. So that was the day Full House was on.
Tuesday is like my weekend.
Sorry, that was a burp.
I love how you announce when you burp.
Because I don't want. I mean, I guess it sounds like a burp. I mean, what else could it be? That it's gas, and I guess part of me doesn't want people to think that it's a toot.
Right. Okay.
But it's
so you're announcing that it's a burp because I get it. That makes sense.
I guess
to
I
me.
could say that's not a toot, but then it'd make me look crazy because it's obviously. Yeah, I don't know why I do that.
That's okay. I do that too. I'll say I burped. Oops, I burped.
But I feel like your burps are like worth announcing because they're so rare.
Or like, oh, hiccup. Like sometimes I'll do just like one hiccup.
Oh my God. Well,
hiccups.
here's the thing. I haven't actually had a slew of hiccups since 2009.
That's a long time to not go to have any hiccups.
Now, okay.
That's since before I knew you.
Girl. Okay, so me and my hiccups are, I guess this is not a lot like my mustache, but okay. 2009,
the year of the last hiccup.
I remember because prior to 2009, it was a moment of time that I haven't had hiccups. So in 2009, I think I had the iPhone, the 3G. So it was like the second generation of iPhone. Okay. I recorded my hiccups because I was like, oh, I never get hiccups. And I want to hear what they sound like for some reason. Okay. There was a reasoning behind it. I don't know what that was. But I recorded them, and I probably still have the voice memo of me.
I was just going to ask if you had it.
I think I do. I think
I did hiccups, y'all.
Are you surprised that I have a recording of myself having hiccups?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I was driving.
Oh gosh.
I had the phone like in a home.
I mean, that part's thing, a little surprising.
And I turned on the memo. It was the memo app, and it just hiccuped.
Just hiccuped away.
And I don't know why it was so important to me to come out, but that is something that to me has very Tuesday vibes.
You know, when I have the hiccups, I think of my grandma.
Okay.
Yeah, because like anytime I had the hiccups, my grandma, she would, well, and it wasn't just me, like it was anybody, she'd go, "You got the hiccups?" And I was, "Yep."
You're like, "Yeah."
And then she would go, "Let me hear you hiccup again."
And then you couldn't. And
then you'd stop because you like, I'll show you.
That's a
I'm gonna
good
hiccup
trick.
again.
I mean, I heard the hold your breath, breathe into a paper bag kind of BS, but that one's actually good because that's like a psychological thing.
Yeah, it was very, yes, because you're like, yeah, I'm gonna hiccup again. Haven't you heard me hiccup for the last 5 minutes?
Yeah,
I would never talk to my grandma that way ever. I didn't.
that's a good one though.
And then they tell you like to like squeeze your.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. But that stuff never worked for me when I did, even though it was rare.
I
When I
know,
did have the hiccup,
2009.
yeah, but when I did have it, none of those things worked. Even like as a child or whatever.
The year of the hiccup.
You know, there was somebody who had hiccups for like years. Like I don't want to say a decade, but it was something large. And I'm like, how do you live? How?
No, I could.
Just imagine being stuck with some sort of ailment like that for a long time. Like, okay, let's pick hiccups. Let's say you had hiccups indefinitely. Like, you probably couldn't be a good calligrapher.
No. Well, I mean, yeah, probably not. 'Cause you're like your body. Your
I mean,
body goes with
depending on
it.
the type of hiccup and the quality of the hiccup.
Right.
I know why I recorded them because I think I recorded it because people didn't understand the level of like almost violence that came with my hiccups.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a whole body experience. Like I think if I had hiccups, you would be like, "Oh my god, she's having hiccups," and I'm going to record it cuz I know that's what she would want. Might take a video this time.
I
Whenever
might.
they come.
Well, now, with my new
It's
iPhone,
almost been
the video quality is great.
how many years? Like over a decade since
Over a decade.
that okay, I didn't realize that till now because I'm like stuck in like 2016 forever.
I know.
Like it's such a weird time to be stuck in.
Oh, man. I don't want to be stuck in 2016. If I was stuck in 2016,
It's like the whole body.
oh,
Like my eyes hurt. Like it's a lot.
that sounds like it hurts.
But I love it.
Oh man. It's funny. I don't get the hiccups very often, but so I'll get like just one hiccup. Just one. And that's it.
But does it count?
It did when I hiccuped in the middle of singing the national anthem.
Oh, that's unusual.
Yeah, that sucked.
I had a friend, she did stage theater, and she got the hiccups right before she went on, and she was more anxious than most people, so she was like, what do I do? What do I do? And she was like thinking like someone can't get me water, I literally have to walk on stage after this sentence. And she said
I burped, sorry.
and she said, what do I do? What do I do? And she knew no one could get her water, and she literally had to walk on stage like right after like two sentences, and she said they just went away. It's kind of like that psychological thing that your grandma played on you.
How's your Tamagotchi?
Oh, yeah, I got myself a Tamagotchi. I actually get pooped, so let me clean up after. I muted it because, I mean, we all know the noises. Oh, well, if you're watching this podcast, you probably know the noises a Tamagotchi makes. But yeah, I just decided to get one because I felt like it. And now I had the pick of whatever vintage Tamagotchi I wanted, so I could actually get a pink one. Mine was actually like blue on the outside with pink in the inside, pink buttons. And yeah, I remember. So I had dance class. And then this other girl walks in, and she's like, she was playing with it. I was like, you got a Tamagotchi? Because she and I were both like, we want Tamagotchis, but we couldn't get one. And she was like, yeah, my grandma just went just now. They're at Toys R Us right now. So my mom looked at me, ran to the Toyota Previa, bitch. It was a tornado warning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she drove there, and then I was like really like excited, and my dance classes were 45 minutes. So like the whole time, I'm like, oh, I hope she got a Tamagotchi.
Right.
Oh, she got, and then I came out and my mom was there, even though I still had 3 more classes because normally she'd just like drop me off and then go. But she came back to give me the Tamagotchi.
Aww.
And then she just ended up, I think, staying there that, for the rest of the evening. But
That's a good memory.
yeah, it really was. And then she was like, the car was moving. It was really windy. I got in there. She probably pushed a bunch. I think there may have been some pushing of children out of the way so she could get me one with pink in it because I was worried because I knew the pickings were slim. I knew
Yeah.
this pink Tamagotchi was probably not going to happen.
That's a beautiful
But
Tamagotchi.
I was hoping for the purple with the pink on the inside, like my friend had.
Okay.
But I got the blue one with the pink on the inside, and I was like, I like it.
Okay.
I really liked it. But yeah, my mom, just in that Toyota Previa with her windbreaker suit, she meant
I could
business.
just see her.
And I remember
man.
it was $14.99.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at the time, that was like,
Yeah.
that's like today's $50.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
So my mom was like, she made eye contact with me. Previa. I'm not kidding.
My mom got she always got like me the good, those board games that everyone wanted, like Dream Phone
I wanted that, but my mom said I was a little too young.
and Mall Madness. I had
That's a good one.
what's that? Perfect Match was another one.
Is that with dating stuff?
It kind of like there was like, similar to Dream Phone. I think there was like cards with like like a cute boy on it, kind of a thing, whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And there was a pink. It was like two electronic devices. One was pink and one was purple. And when you put them together, I think it was like a guessing type game, like similar to Dream Phone. Like you're trying to figure out who it is, and if it was a match, it would like make a certain sound. If it wasn't a match, you would make like like it's not a match kind of a sound. I don't know if they're still good, but I'm pretty sure that all of my those board games are up in the attic at my mom's house.
You should grab them.
Yeah, I don't know like I said, I don't know if they're still good or if
Doesn't matter because that could be her next prodigy project where she learns how to make crusty battery stuff. Not crusty, maybe?
Yeah, it could be.
Or you'll bring it and I'll be like, there's one on Mercari for $4.
Yeah, and those games were like $50
At that time,
at
yeah.
that time. So
Those games were expensive.
those were expensive. So if I got one of those for Christmas, it was like, whoo.
I mean, I was always, even now, when that one time we went to Target, I was so excited. There's something about seeing all the board games together
Yes.
that just makes you so excited. Like, I ended up buying Simon that time we went, and we were playing. Well, you
Was it
played
Target
it.
or Meyer?
No, it was Target because I think we went to
Okay.
Kohl's afterwards.
Okay.
We Ubered to Kohl's.
Why not?
Yeah. So I remember I got the Simon and then you were playing it and then you lost. And then I was like, we could play together. And you're like, how? Like you could not understand the concept of playing together.
I'm like, it's a one-person game.
Like we were standing there in the aisle doing it. And then we both sat down on the floor.
Didn't some little girl come over?
She was judging us. Yeah.
She was.
I'm like, you're judging me and you're wearing a unicorn unitard onesie right now. You're just mad that I can buy any game I want. I don't have to ask my mom. I don't have to ask anybody.
Didn't you buy a Bop It too?
Yeah. And I beat it.
I remember that.
It's all about the rhythm. But to be fair, it's not like the original one.
It's not.
It's like lighter. I'll bring it out next time, housekeeping.
Okay. Yeah, housekeeping.
But it's like lighter gray and it looks more like a gun versus like a circular kind of thing.
Well, and I remember like, the Pop It, the Bop Its, like when they first came out were like just very simple. Bop it, twist it, pull it.
No, it's still the same thing.
But then they had other ones that were like,
Those
like
just
other
didn't.
ones they added
That
on
was a
more.
miss.
Twirl it.
It was like Bop It too. It was too much.
It was just like there were so many things going on. I couldn't do it.
It's like that. Why are you messing with a classic kind of thing?
Speaking of classics, I don't know why it made me think of it because, Bop It, Skip It.
I have a Skip It, and those are so expensive. If you go on eBay, they're like $100.
Oh my God.
I had a pink one, but believe me, I wore it out.
Yeah. I had a pink one.
And then we were talking about it at Abercrombie, of all places. And one of the girls that worked there, that I thought she liked me. Like, we were tight enough that she gave me her purple Skip It, which is the one that I have.
Oh, okay.
But then, like, something happened where I didn't return her text right away. And then she was like, oh, I don't want to be friends with someone who is only friends with me when they think it's convenient for them. And I'm like, because I didn't return your text right away? Like, it was weird. But I have a Skip It because of it, so.
I like it was like Skip it.
Skip it. A doo-wop-bop-bop, a doo-wop-bop. But the very best thing of all,
There's a counter on this ball. So skip it. Skip it.
Yep.
Was it Hasbro?
Yes.
And then there was like the Hasbro outro thing that they did.
Yeah, Hasbro. No. Batteries not needed or something. Because
Right.
you don't need batteries for that one.
I used to play Two Square back in the day.
What's Two Square? Ooh, it sounds like there's some turbulent weather out there.
Oh, it does. Oh, that's right. It's supposed to storm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Taking my laundry outside is not going to be fun.
We could put a bag over it.
We could. You're smart. We're thinking of ideas.
I got a lot of ideas up in here. If only I had the time and investors.
So one of my favorite ways that I describe our friendship, like our Tuesday vibe or whatever thing, is when I explain that moment when we were in, where were we at? Oh, we were at Oakland Mall, and we wanted to go for popovers, remember?
Yes.
Poptins.
Yeah, I did that. Well, that's another story.
That's another story. We wanted to go for popovers, but they were closed, and we didn't realize they were closed. So we couldn't go to Lakeshore Grill, right? And couldn't get the popovers. We were really sad. And so we were like, where can we eat? We looked at the directory. We're like, oh, they got A&W. So we walk over to A&W, and we're almost to A&W, and Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do with It, comes on. And when I tell you, like, we were transported to, like,
Nothing mattered.
nothing mattered. We were
in that music video.
All of a sudden we were strutting, we were dancing, we were twirling, like, I don't know. We had the faces. We weren't even singing. We were just dancing and feeling.
I was like sliding on the tables in the A&W because
it was so good.
Towards the key change of the song, we were in the A&W.
Yep.
And then
it
people
was
saw us
conflicting.
enjoying ourselves though, and we're like, yeah, this is how we do it. How do you hear Tina Turner and not do anything about it?
Yeah. Or like dancing in the middle of the at-home pillow aisle.
Which is a great aisle and sometimes an inconvenient aisle when people don't put their pillows away.
You know what I like about their pillow? I like their aisles because all their pillows are color coordinated.
Yes.
It makes it very easy. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that.
Yeah, but you're not welcome to the people who leave their pillows on the floor.
No.
Like, even if you can't, like, and push the pillow in there, like, to the color, like, just don't leave it on the floor. And they're normally the big pillows. They're not the teeny dinky pillows.
Yeah.
They're the big giant pillows that, first of all, I know for a fact you weren't going to buy it. So why did you pull it out? And then you don't even, like, put it back. Like, I think that's just rude. Or like the end cap shelves, like just put it there.
Right.
Someone will get it.
Because, and honestly, I will say that's what I end up doing sometimes because they are so tight. They're packed in so tight that sometimes it's hard to get it back in there. So I kind of find a place to put it.
Yeah, but you don't leave it on the floor.
No, never. Oh my gosh.
No, you do not.
That's like when a shirt or dress falls off of a hanger and people just leave it on the floor.
Just pick it up.
That's all you got to do. If you don't want to put it on the hanger, just drape it over the thing.
Even then, I'm still like, you could have taken the 2 seconds to put it on the hanger.
But at least don't leave it on the floor. Like when people just do that and they like, it's like they pretend like they didn't do it.
No, they do it and they're like, well, sales associate would get it. That's their job.
That's just rude.
Which is true.
But I feel like that's somebody that's never worked in like retail or service at all.
Or someone who has worked in retail and says, oh,
I had to do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
Man.
You kind of, when we go out to eat, that's how you hold your servers to that standard.
I kind of do, but I'm also very understanding because I know that we can't always all be on. Like I have off days. I have days that I forget a lot of things. I have, I'm very understanding and like, you're a human. You can't be expected to not make mistakes. You're not, I do it. So, but at the same time, on the other hand, I'm like, well, I could do that.
There's just a difference between a good and bad server.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you could tell right away.
Yes.
But Tina Turner, I was Tina Turner for Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
That was an awesome costume. And I did end up going to one costume. It was
Yeah.
costume party, and I was Tina Turner. I made a costume. I had like this like gold leotard that was kind of too small for me, and I got 3 gypsy scarves off of, was it Amazon?
Maybe. It's
And
probably.
I just made a dress, like a Tina Turner dress. Went through a couple wigs. It's hard to find a decent Tina Turner wig, especially close to Halloween.
Right.
So I went through at least, I want to say 4 options before I found the wig I like. And even then I wasn't in love with it. Like the plan is to get another wig. And yeah, I got to go to one party, and the guy I was dating at the time, like, we're like, how can we make this a cool, like, joint thing? And we made him into, like, the big wheel that keeps on turning.
Proud Mary,
And he
keep
got
on
to be
burning.
comfortable. He was just wearing all black, and
Yeah,
he just
yeah.
put the hula hoops
Yep.
on. But I remember we were supposed to go to a party, like, the weekend before that, but I was, like, so sick that I was, like, assembling
That's right. I remember.
the
Yeah.
big paddle wheel, and I was just, like, sick, and he's like, we're not going. And I was worried because it was like, there's that time where you're kind of new to a relationship, and it was a friend's party, and I was like, I don't want to be the reason we don't go, because I don't want
Right.
them to think like, oh, she's holding you up. But he didn't care, and we didn't go. Thank God, because I was sick, like with one of those colds where you had
Oh,
to pick a
the
side.
worst. I hate those.
I call that the pick a side. We're gonna call it the pick a side cold.
Yeah, because the other one's plugged up.
Right. So you have to pick a side to let it go.
It's horrible.
That's what I picture.
I always had inopportune times, especially in high school and in college. For when I was in the choir, I was almost always sick at the concerts. Almost always. It did so bad so that multiple performances when I was in college, I had to excuse myself from the performance in the middle of the performance because I was having a coughing attack. Like I would have a handful of cough drops in my hand, and I would keep them in my hand. And when we would bow, I would like, first bow, I'd open the cough drop. Second bow, I'd put the cough drop in my mouth. Well, sometimes I couldn't, or if certain concerts, like it would just be like lights off of us while lights were on somebody else while they were singing and performing. So I could and we stayed up there, and I could do it like just without anybody noticing. It was the worst.
I feel like that age time for us, like I felt like I was always like sick at an inopportune time. I think about when I'm sick now, like how much more often I was sick as a high schooler or a college kid.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, how did I do sick and drive myself and go to school
everything.
and study and still party and like all of that stuff? I'm like, how did I do that? That seems more stressful than just staying at home and being stressed out because you're sick. Like now,
Because
if I'm
when you're
sick,
young, you're invincible.
yeah, but I mean, but at the time you're not thinking that,
Right.
And I think now when I'm sick, I'm like, it's that simple. Just go do it. I'm like, I physically cannot do
Right.
this.
Right.
It's a storming outside.
I know. I'm like dreading having to go home.
There's some atmospheric pressure approaching.
Yeah, you can really hear the rain coming down and the wind. Right?
Oh,
I wonder if they can hear it.
we'll find out.
We'll find
But there's
out.
definitely like you're thinking about, oh, should we go get the lantern? Is there going to be another power outage out of nowhere? We actually never talked about the power outage, but it really wasn't that exciting.
No, we were just setting up and we were getting ready to do our
Like get back into it.
yeah.
And everything but it was just probably how pitch black it was, which was kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because it took a moment for us to realize all the lights are out.
Right.
I thought someone was coming to kill us. But here's the thing. I did receive an email earlier, and I completely forgot about it when they were saying you will experience a power outage. And it was something for up to 3 hours. It was like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it came. Well, we went and got the lantern.
Okay, when we say lantern, I actually have 3, which I just realized. And they take like 10D batteries. Of course, these all came from my mother.
Obviously.
There's actually like a port for a USB thing.
Oh, nice. So you could
And
charge
like,
it.
yeah, and the thing is this thing is bright. Like there's 3 settings to it. The first setting, you're like, oh, I want to turn it down. So you keep hitting the button, but it just gets brighter and brighter. And you're like, okay, I guess we're stuck with the, but it's like,
Here we are.
but what a good thing to be stuck with. Like we only needed the one.
We did. And then, but by the time we got it and made sure it worked and figured out that it was basically back on.
Yeah.
But we had it if we needed it. And I'm like, what are we going to do? Man.
I was like, we can't do anything.
I mean, we could.
But we couldn't do this.
No, we couldn't. And we were ready to get back into it, too.
Yeah, we finished eating. It was really good. What did we eat that night? I know it was good.
I don't remember.
That's weird. We normally have food things we like to talk about. Oh, remember those like tacos we had on the beach at Mexico?
Oh, that was another great Tuesday moment.
Yeah, those tacos were so, and I'm not a taco person. So for me to eat a taco and keep ordering tacos.
So good. And they just kept bringing them to us on the beach.
Well, yeah, because that's what it is. Like,
it was so great.
I'm not personally, like when I travel, I'm not a huge fan of all-inclusive things because I think they're kind of hokey. But it's like, if you're Tuesdaying, it's exactly what you need.
It's exactly what you need. It was nice. It was so nice. That was February of 2019.
Yeah.
Yep, in the midst of everything. And I was just like, and I remember just turning to you and going, can we go on a vacation?
Yeah.
And you said yes. And you know what? And I'm sure I told you this, but I don't know if you remember that trip. Our trip to Mexico was actually my first like adult girlfriend.
No, you definitely told me because you were telling me like every time we like were talking about it.
It was a big deal to me, you know. I mean, because I didn't really most of my trips were like family trips, and then with my ex-husband, and that was it. So, or school trips. So I never really had like a trip by yourself, right? Or just with friends, you know. I never had that, so it was fun. We danced a lot. Oh man,
we danced when people weren't
that Broadway night.
The Broadway night. I loved the Broadway night.
I
mean, I think I'm becoming infamous at Broadway nights, but this Broadway night, it was musicals, which we're very akin to.
Yes,
we love musicals, but they were doing all of the music.
Greats.
We had Little Shop in there. What else? Dream Girls. Yep. They had, what else?
Mamma Mia.
They did. Oh, don't get me started on Mamma Mia. Okay, so picture like poolside. They set up like a backdrop and like a floor for them to dance
lighting.
On. They have their like, you know, party lighting. And then they have like, it almost looks like a wedding with an aisleway. So there's chairs on one side and chairs on the other side. Well, we kind of just like creeped up on it.
As it was happening, yeah.
Because I think we were actually looking for, at the time I was a smoker, I wanted cigarettes.
Yeah.
But it's like everything was basically down and closed except for this Broadway night. So we kind of like waddled on over there. So we're like standing in the back. We could have sat down, but we didn't. And you better believe they were performing. Here's the thing. People might look at it and be like, oh, they're performing. But to me, like, we saw how hard they were going at it.
Oh,
was it the costumes were really good.
Costumes were great.
I mean, but vocals were decent. Like, I would say the soloists that didn't have to do choreography, it was pretty decent.
Right.
But, like, you know, even though they had what they had and they're limited to the area they were dancing in and everything, they were performing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like those people were performing, and we were back there like, yes.
And
I don't want to scream in the microphone, but we were just so excited. And then there was that one guy, the tallish guy. He caught on to us. He felt our energy, and you better believe his chest just opened up even more. Oh God, yeah. I didn't even think he could stand any taller, but he was just going for it. And then there was a part where he had to go hairspray. He dressed up in drag, and he was like totally like it was just so I was so happy for them.
For it.
But these people were sitting in the, you know, the bride and groom area. They were looking at us like, lady, you don't think I'm gonna enjoy this show?
Right.
Is there sequins involved? Of course I'm gonna enjoy myself. And like we were amping them up so much. Like I feel like they had that much better of a performance. Oh yeah. Because of our asses being back there. Like,
well, because we were so excited. We were hype. You know, we weren't just like, oh, it's so lovely. Like no,
we knew what they were doing
because we know what it takes.
Yes.
And it takes
a lot
so we
more
appreciate it
to do it in the heat, full costume.
Yes.
the audio was good. But
Costume changes.
but they had so many costume
So
changes.
many. I don't know. Okay. And there weren't that many of them. So it was just
I think it was only
constant.
like 4 and 4.
Yeah. It was
It was
a small
constantly
group.
moving. Like mad props, but like nobody else was appreciating it the way we did.
No.
We were singing along.
We did. There was that one girl that was there for a
Daniela?
friend's birthday. Yeah.
Oh, the friend.
The
yeah.
friend. Yep. She came. And so she was having a great time with us. And then Linda came up.
We met up with Linda. She looked different in a sundress.
I know. Because she wasn't just sitting
Talking about her abilities.
Her.
You know.
Linda. I love
Yeah, she
man.
was so good.
Linda was the HBIC man.
Yeah, and she's like, what is that? And then you were like,
I was like, head bitch in charge. She's like,
oh, I like
yeah.
that. I'm Linda, and I like that. I'm from Toronto. Like, she was so good. And she wanted to dance, but her knee was bothering her. And her husband is not that kind of husband that dances, even though he was mildly he was like a dog with his ears perked up. Like, he was into it, but they were both, like, wanting, but just not able. And that was kind of sad. But we were dancing hard.
We were having a good time. That was a fun night. It was like on like one of the last nights, wasn't it?
No, it was like the middle.
Middle? Okay.
Because we had 2 more nights after that.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was really good. And then there was another time I went to Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a Motown night. Now, don't get me started on Motown. I celebrate being from here. I love it. Motown music is literally its own thing.
Absolutely.
It's not only is it its own thing, it's also an oldie. It's also a classic. It's also redone and turned into musicals. You know, when you hear like those beginning bars of a Motown song,
You know what's
it's
coming.
Motown.
You know it's Motown. Yep.
You know that echo chamber sound. You know Smokey Robinson when he's smoking. Oh, Tears of a Clown, my favorite song. Anyway, in Jamaica, they had a Motown night. And now this was a dedicated stage to these performances. So they had more room, and the cast was much larger. So they had a dedicated space. And so the guy I was dating at the time, he was just not into dancing, but he was more than happy for me to dance. So we worked out this arrangement where he would sit at the end of an aisle so I could stand so I could dance.
Yeah.
Which is, not ideal, but I was like, I'll take it. So they're dancing, and I'm following along with them.
Obviously.
Like, it didn't take me very long to figure out what they're doing. So I'm going to say for the hour show, I probably danced for 45 minutes of it because I was just so into it. And it wasn't, there were some vocal performances, but the dancing was done to the actual Motown music. So it's like I knew the songs. And at the end, they're like, doing their curtain call. And then the guy comes on stage and he's like, I also want to thank that young lady over there. And he's like pointing towards me. But I'm like, who? And he's like, she's been dancing all night. I'm like, where is she? Why weren't we dancing together? And it was me. And then they're like, come up on the stage. And I was like, oh, no. And then, he was like, go on stage. So
I'm so happy that happened for you.
And then they put me in the middle, and they were doing whatever I was doing. It was pretty, but I was, having a hard time, for lack of better words.
Right.
So I tried my best, but I was living.
Oh, my God.
And they were living
Talk
for
about
me.
pressure, though.
Like, I kind of miss, well, that's where, if you were there, I probably would have had better dance moves. Because I would have, fought through my dizziness.
Yeah.
But they were living for me, and I was just like, man, I wish Cobra was here to see me doing this.
It was good.
Because I know you would have had your phone out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did too. But you would have had your phone out, and you would have been, amping me up more.
Oh, God,
But
yeah.
it was pretty good,
I'd have been,
though.
screaming. And
I did so.
the video would have been all shaky because I'm like, yeah.
I don't know why, but I don't consider myself a participator. Like, if there's, a magician, they're like, I need
No, I don't want to do that.
I'm not going to participate that way.
I don't want to do that.
But this was, inadvertent.
Okay.
Because I wasn't even near the front of the stage. There were probably I want to say 100 rows, and we were probably more like row 70. So I was pretty far back. So for them to see me back there, either it was really good or really bad. Wasn't sure, but you could tell me to go on stage. Yeah, I'm gonna go on stage.
But here's the thing, that's the cool thing too, that because we've definitely had moments like that together. We've had so many of those moments together where we're just like, whoa, oh my God, we're feeling it, we're vibing it, whatever. And then they catch our attention and they start to feel our energy and they feel
do that much better.
Exactly.
Another good Tuesday moment, Miss Eno Savad.
That's exactly who I was thinking about.
Miss
And I wasn't
Eno
sure if you wanted to
Savad.
talk about it
Oh man,
that
no,
day.
I
Oh my
do want to
God.
talk about, like, I mean, there's nothing really,
She is,
it's not really an event to talk about. We were at this like festival and she was there.
yes,
She's very statuesque, this
gorgeous.
beautiful woman playing guitar, rock
Oh,
and roll.
and that voice. Oh,
It was her voice that really I was shook.
vibrations into your body,
So she's
into your
like singing
soul.
to the audience, right? And we're a little bit to stage left of her.
And we're just
We're
vibing.
there and we're like, we feel you, lady. And we talked to her afterwards and we were kind of like nervous,
We were very nervous.
which was weird because we're never nervous to talk to anybody. But we were nervous. We bought a CD because I wanted to support her. And she said she felt our energy.
Yeah. God, she was so, she's so beautiful.
You know, if we could, like these things, you know, like this, we'll keep that one. But the other things, I want to find out how much it would take to get her to do something for us.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So Miss Eno Savad, even though it's how many years later? 3 years, 4 years later.
Something like that,
You
yeah.
have still shaken us to our core. We listened to all your music. We pulled it up on Spotify. She's not on Spotify anymore.
No.
But we pulled up everything we could at that time. And we know that you took a hiatus.
Yep.
And when we listened to that first album and then you had your hiatus and the album we purchased, we understood.
So good. Oh my God.
We love you so much.
Like, you've left such an impression
Like
on
I'm
us.
gonna like cry.
I think I like, remember when I think I like liked something of hers and I commented on it, and then she commented back, like she tagged me in it, and I was like, oh, I was so excited.
She's like an institution.
Oh God.
And her music, like if you can take the opportunity, you know, listen to Miss Eno Savad, because I mean that new song that came out.
The band is Evolution, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So she's the front woman.
Yes.
Eno Savad's the front woman of is Evolution.
Correct.
Or we might be having some of these things wrong, but we'll get the correct information
Yes.
to you because we don't want to screw it up because we
No.
love her.
Yes. And her guitar player, what's it? I think it's like Deuce, Dues, on Insta.
Okay.
He the big guy, and he
Oh,
shreds.
yeah.
Oh man,
It's just
I want a hug from him.
we need to. We're gonna go see her in concert because we were set.
We were supposed to at what, the Old Miami?
Yeah, and it didn't work out.
And yeah, I think because didn't work out. It got canceled or something happened.
Something happened that we just couldn't go.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love you.
We love you.
God. Please. That is Tuesday.
That is Tuesday.
I feel like she's like an elevated form of Tuesday a bit. I feel like she got there already.
Oh yeah.
She's the enlightened version of Tuesday. Like we want to be her when we
Yes.
grow up.
Oh my gosh.
Not that she's old. We're just not
No.
there yet.
We're not as evolved.
No.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we need that hiatus. But
You know, this could be part of what helps get us there. Our podcast. I mean, it could be.
see.
You know.
So at this point in time, I think Miss Eno Savad is a good way to end this today.
Yeah, of course.
It was definitely a heavier moment, but no, like, you know, you need to know.
Yeah.
Not many people know. They just thought we're crazy and hang out on Tuesday.
Yeah, for no
we
reason.
missed the weekend for some reason.
Right.
Or something
Yeah,
like that.
I don't know.
Just make sure you follow us on the socials. We're slowly getting everything up. We have our website, 100%tuesday.com. You can find every way to listen to us and watch us on the YouTubes.
Absolutely.
You know, so thank you for spending time with us on the Great Couch with 100% Tuesday. I am your resident blonde Asian.
And I am Code Red, of course.
See.
See.
All right. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.